Assalamu alaikum. What is rest? What is rest in physics? The rest in physics is an object is said to be at rest. An object to be is said to be at rest when it doesn't change its position, when it does not change its position with respect to its surrounding or with respect to another object. Then we have been said that the object is in rest. The rest mean an object is said to be in the position of rest when it does not change its position with respect to another object or with respect to its surroundings. So it is a rest. So what is motion in physics? It is rest in physics. And what is motion in physics? What is motion in physics? What is a motion in physics? An object is said to be in motion. An object is said to be in motion when it changes its position with respect to its surroundings or another object. So in physics, what is motion? The motion is the changing of position of one object with respect to its surrounding objects, with respect to its surrounding objects with time. So it is motion in physics. Examples of motions are just like babies runs, car move and walk, etc. The walking of vehicle, the movement of vehicle, or the movement of animals, etc. There are a lot of examples of motion. So what is motion in physics? In physics, the motion is an entity. The motion is the change in the position of an object when change in the position of an object with respect to its surrounding objects or surroundings. For example, a car move along the road, and the distance between car and the building along the side of the road is so narrow. But when car move, it go far away from the building, so the distance increase. So when we talk about motions, the terms distance, displacement, speed, velocities are used when we define motions. These terms, distance, displacement, speeds and velocity, etc. are used when we define motion. So what is distance? The distance between the length and width and the area between two objects. The distance is in between two objects. One object, the distance is the distance is the length or area between two objects. One object with respect to another object. And what is displacement? The displacement is the change of position of one object with respect to another object. What is the speed? The speed which is the distance covered by the body per second. The motion is the change of position of the body, change of position of an object with time, with respect to surrounding objects or surroundings. But what is the speed? Speed is the distance covered by the body or the object with time. And what is velocity? Velocity is a distance covered by the body in a particular direction. So these are the terms when we talk about motion. Motion is the displacement of body or the distance covered by the body, or when the body changes its position with respect to another object or with respect to its surroundings or its surrounding objects, it is said to be in motion. If the body changes its position, it is no more in the state of rest. It is said to be in motion. So this is motion. Thank you. Types of motions. There are different types of motions accordingly. From the form point of view, the motion is linear and non-linear. The linear motion is in the motion along the straight line, like a straight line walk of someone, or the straight movement of car, vehicle, etc. And non-linear motion, which is along the curvature, movement of some vehicle which is taking turn, etc. There are also a type of motion, translational motion. A translational motion is a motion in which a body move as a whole. The whole body move, and its all parts move. Its all parts move and cover a same distance in a particular time. Then it is said to be, it is in translational motion. The translational motion is a type of motion in which the whole body move and its all parts being move along some path, and they cover a same distance in a given interval of time, in the particular time. Then the body is said to be a translational motion. There are two types of translational motion. One is rectilinear motion. Rectilinear motion is a motion of an object. It is object which move straight, like a straight movement of car move on a straight road, like the train move on a straight track, etc. These are the rectilinear motion. Curvilinear motion. The curvilinear motion is the motion along the curve. For example, the car taking turn, when the stone throw in the air and it make an angle, then it is said to be in a curvilinear motion. So translational motion is a motion of an object in which the whole object move and cover same distance in a particular time. It is said to be translational motion. There are two types of translational motion. One is a rectilinear motion. Rectilinear motion in which the body move or the object move along the straight path or along the straight line, or along the straight road. For example, the car move on a straight road, or the person move on a straight road, person walk on a straight road, or the train move on a straight track, etc. And there is another type of translational motion, which is curvilinear motion, in which the body move along the curve, like a stone throw in the air and make an angle, or the car taking turn, or the vehicle taking turn, etc. Here is another type of motion, which is rotatory motion. And in rotatory motion, what happens? It is a rotation. It is a rotation of an object. But what is rotatory motion in itself? Rotatory motion in itself is when a body move, or when the object move to its axis. There is some axis along with axis with respect to it the body move, and its different part covered the different distance at a particular time. In a particular time, it is said to be in a rotatory motion. When an object moves to its axis and its different part move by different distance, when the whole body rotate along something, its inner parts move, its inner parts cover narrow distance as compared to its outer parts. For example, the movement of fan, the movement of blades of fans. When the movement of blade of fan take place, its inner parts move more. Its inner part cover narrow distance as compared to the outer parts. The movement of windmill, the blade of windmill, the movement of merry-go-round, the movement of the rotation of earth along its axis, these are the example of rotatory motion. So in rotatory motion, the body is in rotation and its cover different distance. Its different parts cover different distance in the particular time, in the particular interval of time. So it is said to be in rotatory motion. There are many examples of rotatory motion, like merry-go-round, or like the movement of the blades of windmill, or the movement of fan, etc. So these are the type of rotatory motion. According to time, There are two types of motion according to time: periodic motions and non-periodic motions. What is periodic motion? A type of motion which repeats itself after equal interval of time. A motion which repeats itself after equal interval of time is called periodic motion. Periodic motion is a motion which repeats itself after a given or after a taken interval of time, after equal interval of time. It is called periodic motion. The example of periodic motion is, the examples of periodic motion are like motion of pendulums. Pendulum move after at regular intervals and after equal intervals of time. Movement of blade of clock, movement of earth, the rotation of earth around its axis. It's complete its rotation in 24 hours. And there are many examples of periodic motions, like a motion of pendulum, motion of blades of clock, motion of earth, the movement of earth. These are examples of periodic motions. And non-periodic motion, the non-periodic motion is a type of motion which doesn't repeat itself, a motion that do not repeat itself after regular intervals of times. After a particular or equal interval of time is a non-periodic motion. In daily life, we observe many types of non-periodic motions, like the movement of vehicle along the road. It is non-periodic motion. It doesn't repeat itself after a given interval of time and after an equal interval of time. And the movement of, or like a playing of children, the children play and move to and move here and there, and the gliding of birds along the sky. So these are the examples of non-periodic motion. A periodic motion repeats itself at regular intervals, like movement of pendulum, movement of clock of blade, movement of earth along its axis. And non-periodic motion do not repeat itself at regular intervals, like the movement of vehicle, the movement of children, etc. According to state of motions, there are two types of motion: a uniform motion. A uniform motion is a motion in which an object is said to be in uniform motion if it travels equal distance in equal interval of time. For example, if it covered 2 meters in 1 second, then it also covered 2 meters in another second. Then it's said to be in uniform motion. And non-uniform motion is the movement of an object when it travel and do not cover equal distance. It travel unequal distance in equal times. For example, a car cover 4 meters in 1 second, while it covered 8 meters in another second. Then it is said to be non-uniform motion. A uniform motion is a motion in which an object covers equal distance in equal intervals of time. The example of the circular motion of earth travel equal distance in equal interval of time, or the movement of bullet train when it cover equal distance in equal interval of time. And the non-uniform motion when it cover unequal distance in equal interval of time, like when a car move along the speed and its speed change. In 1 second it cover 2 meters, while in other second it move 4 meters. So it is said to be in a non-uniform motion. So these are two types according to state of motion: uniform motion and non-uniform motion. In uniform motion, the body cover equal distance in equal interval of time. For example, a car covered 2 meters in a second, then it also cover a 2 meters in another second. It is said to be in uniform motion. And the time distance graph is in a straight line. It is said to be uniform motion. And the non-uniform motion in which the body cover unequal distance in equal interval of time. For example, a car covered 2 meters while it covered 4 meters in another second, 2 meters in a second, while it covered 4 meters or 8 meters in another second. It is said to be in non-uniform motion. So these are type of motion according to state of motion. Thank you.